Hello everyone, this is Cephalon and welcome to my Warframe video. Before we get started, if you enjoy Warframe build guides like this one, consider leaving a like and subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and you'll never miss future guides. Today we're taking a look at the Phantasma Prime, one of the strongest shotguns in Warframe. Its primary fire is a continuous beam, and thanks to its innate 6x multi-shot, it has one of the highest rates of status application in the game. Combined with its incredibly high fire rate, infinite punch through, and excellent status chance, it's capable of applying status effects faster than almost any other primary weapon in Warframe. The Phantasma Prime also has an alternate fire that launches a large plasma bomb, which explodes before releasing 5 seeking projectiles. While it's an interesting mechanic, it simply doesn't deal enough damage to compete with the primary beam. So throughout this guide, we'll be focusing entirely on the primary fire. This build focuses on a standard viral electric setup, making it an excellent choice for general gameplay and clearing groups of enemies. The weapon does have one important weakness though. It relies heavily on stacking status effects to deal damage, making it significantly weaker against bosses and enemies with status caps. Most bosses like Acolytes can only have 4 stacks of each status effect at a time, with heat being an exception in some encounters. This is the build I've been using throughout this video. Feel free to pause and screenshot it now if you want to copy it later. With that out of the way, let's break down the reasoning behind each mod slot. We'll start with Galvanized Savvy, one of the largest damage multipliers in the build. It grants plus 80% additive damage for every unique status effect affecting an enemy. Since the Phantasma Prime applies impact, radiation, electric, and viral, it's very easy to reach plus 320% additive damage without any external priming. It also provides another plus 80% status chance, making it even easier to stack the status effects this weapon relies on. Next is Galvanized Hell. At maximum stacks, it provides plus 230% multi-shot. Since the Phantasma Prime already has an innate 6x multi-shot, this dramatically increases the number of beam instances fired with every shot. That means more direct damage, more status effects, and ultimately far more electric procs, making multi-shot one of the strongest stats you can build on this weapon. Now let's talk about the core of our damage. We're using Primed Charged Shell, which adds a massive amount of electric damage while also increasing the weapon's electric weighting. Since electric status effects are responsible for the majority of this build's damage, this is one of the most important mods on the weapon. To complement that, we're combining Toxic Barrage with Frigid Blast to create Viral. Viral increases all damage dealt to enemy health by up to 4.25 times at 10 stacks, including our electric status effects, making it the best all-around elemental combination for this build. We're also using Shotgun Elementalist, which increases the damage dealt by our status effects by 90%, while also increasing our magazine size. Since electric status effects make up such a large portion of our damage, it's one of the strongest multipliers available. Next is Prime Point Blank, providing plus 165% additive damage to all of our hits. It's a simple but effective damage increase that complements the rest of the build. Finally, we're using Repeater Clip. After every reload, it grants plus 105% fire rate while aiming. More fire rate means more beams, more status effects, and ultimately more damage. For the Exodus slot, I'm using Galvanized Acceleration. The additional beam range makes the weapon feel much more comfortable to use. If you find yourself running into ammo issues, Primed Shotgun Ammo Mutation or Vigilante Supplies are both excellent alternatives. Which one you choose really depends on how much the ammo economy bothers you. For Arcanes, there are several excellent options depending on your playstyle. I'm using Primary Crux because I think it's the most comfortable option overall. At maximum stacks, it grants 60% ammo efficiency together with plus 300% status chance after hitting weak points. The extra ammo efficiency dramatically reduces how often you need to reload, making the weapon feel much smoother to use. If you aren't planning on aiming for weak points, Shotgun Vendetta becomes a fantastic alternative. It grants plus 180% multi-shot and plus 75% reload speed for 15 seconds after killing an enemy within 5 meters. This arcane outperforms primary merciless once multiple status effects are applied, thanks to how valuable multi-shot is on beam weapons. Finally, primary merciless is still a perfectly viable option if you'd rather have a straightforward additive damage arcane without worrying about headshots or staying within 5 meters of your target. Outside of the main build, there are several flexible options depending on your setup. If you'd rather have stronger single target damage at the cost of some crowd clearing, you can replace Prime Charged Shell with Incendiary Coat. If you're using Nourish, you can replace Toxic Barrage with Scattering Inferno, allowing you to benefit from both Blast and Viral at the same time for even better area damage. If you struggle against Eximus units or Thrax, you can replace Repeater Clip with Magnetic Strafe, giving the weapon magnetic damage to deal with Overguard much more effectively at the cost of fire rate. And if you prefer stacking even more status effects instead of additive damage, you can replace Primed Point Blank with Vigilante Armaments for additional multi-shot. If you're lucky enough to own a Riven, the ideal combination is status chance, multi-shot, and fire rate. Toxin and Cold are also excellent alternatives. If your Riven has fire rate, simply replace Repeater Clip with it. Likewise, if it has Toxin or Cold, replace the corresponding elemental mod. Overall, I think the Phantasma Prime is still one of the strongest shotguns in Warframe. It applies status effects faster than almost anything else in the game, allowing electric procs to melt entire groups of enemies in seconds. The only real downside is its performance against bosses and other enemies with status caps, since that's where its biggest strength becomes limited. Even so, it's one of my favorite primary weapons in the game. There's something incredibly satisfying about watching enemies simply melt in front of you. Thank you for watching. Remember to leave a like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe for more Warframe guides. See you in the next one. Tenno.